Welcome back to my channel. I appreciate you taking the time to check out my latest video. Today I'm going to be doing a review of a cellular trail camera. Cellular trail cameras have become very popular, and for good reason. You can put them out in the field and they're going to send you photos or videos to your cell phone. Today I have the Glass Raven model, and it's from Creative XP. This particular cellular trail camera has one of the highest ratings for cellular trail cameras on Amazon. They also sell these on their Creative XP website, so you can check them out there. Also, I'm going to be doing a real quick unboxing of this cellular trail camera, and then I'm going to walk through the setting and the setup of the cellular portion. It seems each manufacturer does a little bit different, and sometimes it can be a little bit confusing. This is going to be my very first time with this model. So you're going to follow along with me, and we're going to see if we can get it up and running, what the steps are, and how long it takes. I'm also going to be pairing it with the recommended solar panel. This setup should be able to put it out in the field and really not ever have to check the camera. The solar panel should keep it running all year long, and this camera is going to send me the photos so I don't have to actually go and physically check this trail camera. So let's get into the unboxing. So this is the 4G model, and it's the Glass Raven. Here are some of the specs. If you want to pause this and check out those in more detail, you can. Inside the box, it says 4 easy steps to set up. We'll be checking that out. Has a bunch of literature here. Stop, very important information. Maybe we'll have to read this. It has an included SIM card, and it looks like the SIM's actually inside the camera already. This is a SIM Hero model, and it runs off of AT&T towers. Have a 100% guarantee. Have other products, and of course our user's manual. Inside here is the actual trail camera. Take a look at that a little bit closer here in just a bit. We have 2 different antennas that are going to mount onto the camera. Over here we have an optional wall mount. Looks like a charge cord or some sort of external power. Here's another USB cable. I have a tree strap. The other part of the wall mount that fell out of my bag. And screws and an Allen wrench. Let's take a closer look at the actual case of this. It has one large latch here on the side. This camera is powered by 12 batteries, which if you know about cellular trail cameras, they definitely take more power, and that's why I'm going to be pairing it with a solar panel to help conserve on batteries. Has a place for a security cable. Your tree strap could go here. It does have a 1/4-20 mount on the back and the bottom. Here is an external power port. It is a 12-volt trail camera. Up top here is where our antennas go. So this camera does come with dual antennas. They are adjustable for different directions, and it's supposed to really enhance the signal for this. So if you have a poor signal location, the 2 antennas, although sticking up there pretty good, they really ought to help with reception and get those photos sent to your cell phone. So next I'm going to be putting in batteries into this trail camera. Then I'm going to go through the cellular setup and see how easy that is, and if we can get it set up, what steps we got to take, and if we can get it to send me photos wirelessly through cellular signal. So let's put in some batteries. So I have the camera loaded up with batteries. They had already installed the SIM card, the cellular SIM card. And the good news is the camera actually comes with an SD card also, a 32 gig SD card. So it has the SD card in it. The cellular SIM card from SIM Hero is inside of this. All I had to do is put batteries in. Now we're going to do the setup portion. So Creative XP on this flyer that says stop has the 4 steps to setting up this camera. I'm simply going to be following these 4 steps. You can follow along and see how simple or how hard this process is. So the first step, it says to go to myherosim.com. I also want to mention they give you 500 free photos are preloaded already onto this cellular SIM card. So the first 500 are free. After that, there's monthly plans. Some of those plans are as low as $6.99 a month. and as cheap as $39.99 a year if you want to pay 1 year at a time. That's a pretty good deal. So we're going to log into Sim Hero at the address given here, and we're going to set up an account. The first step is you have to register at Sim Hero, simply adding your name and an email address, birth date here, and a password. So I'm going to set that up, and then we'll be right back with you. So I was able to successfully log into Sim Hero, entered my email address, set up that account. It also asked for a registration code, and that was right here in this card that came with my trail camera. I entered that. It sent me an email for verification purposes. I'm now on the Sim Hero website, and it says add new SIM. I can add the SIM number that's also included on this pamphlet. I'm going to do that next. So I'm finished with step one. I went to Sim Hero and registered my account, registered my SIM card with Sim Hero. That was step two. Step three says go into the camera's menu. So we're going to turn our camera on here to the setup mode. It says carefully respect the instructions below. So we're going to do that. We're going to go into the carrier and set the carrier information here. So the next instruction says I have to go into the camera's menu. I turn the camera up in the setup mode to push the menu button. It says go to main menu to 4G. So let's go over here to 4G. It says send to. So we'll drop down to send to. Right there, send to. We'll click on that, and it says to email. So we'll drop down to email. So I think I have the camera up and operating. In fact, I know it has sent me an email with a picture of the studio here. Some things I am learning. It did take quite a while to enter my email address and stuff. The codes and trying to get through the menu here can be a little bit difficult. You just simply have to take your time and walk through that. The instructions also say that this camera is compatible with AT&T towers, not Verizon. So if you're running an AT&T SIM card, there's one set of settings. If you're running the included Sim Hero, there's another set of instructions. So please be very careful. I simply followed these instructions to the T, and it worked. It sent me an email right to my phone with the picture, and it came through very fast. So next I'm going to be putting this out, and I'm going to be pairing it with the solar panel here. I'm going to show you that setup next, but then I'm going to be showing you sample photos and videos I get from this. I'm going to let it out there for quite some time, and that way we get a good perspective of how it works, what the pros and cons are. I'm going to then bring you back and tell you what I think of this trail camera. Stick around. Well, when I left you last, I promised I would show you my setup, and this is the setup here. I've had it out here and going for over a month now. I have my camera mounted down here on the edge of my food plot looking towards the woods. Up there, I mounted my solar panel. Like I said, this has been going for over a month. That solar panel has kept up 100%. I have not had any power issues whatsoever, and I've never had any issues with this camera. I've faced it in two different directions here. I left it in the first direction for a couple of weeks, and now I have actually turned the camera some and faced this direction. I'm going to show you the sample photos and videos that I've gotten over the last month, and give you an idea what kind of quality you can expect from this. But stick around, I'm going to give you my final thoughts. I'm going to get in out of the wind. You check out the sample photos and videos while we head in. So I've done an unboxing. I've showed you the setup of this trail camera. I've put it out into the field and showed you over a month's worth of sample photos and videos. It's now time for my final thoughts. This Glass Raven trail camera, it's a 4G trail camera from Creative XP. The camera performed exceptionally well for me. When it comes to cell cameras, it seems there can be a few bugs or hiccups with them. Sometimes the firmware or the software can give some issues that you're going to have to work with. That they don't always send you photos and videos on a regular basis. Can always leave you questioning whether you're missing the action. This trail camera really did perform flawlessly for me. I've had no hiccups whatsoever. As I mentioned, I used it for over a month period. During that month, it was a free trial. It was very nice to have that because I could actually gauge what kind of data I was going to be using and the amount I was going to be using at the location I had this mounted. I have since signed up for a year plan, and if you pay it by the year, it's substantially cheaper that way. In fact, I was able to go in at the lowest data available, and for a year it was $39.99. That's exceptionally affordable when it comes to trail cameras, so I was happy with that. The photo and video quality I classified as very good. I had no issues with it. The nighttime IR performed very well. It was able to light up the surroundings. You could easily see what was going on. Far out and the very edge of the corners got a little bit dark. The lighting was definitely in a cone shape, whereas closer to the camera, it was extremely wide. The further away from the camera, it kind of narrowed down to more of a point. That's very common with most trail cameras. And as you can see in some of those videos, the animals were passing parallel with the camera. I stepped that off. That was over 45 feet away. So the trigger tripped and you could see what was going on over 45 feet, probably closer to 50 feet on some of them. I think that was very good. Next, although these dual antennas kind of, well, they stick out and they look a little the way they do, they really did provide me with good cell signal. I live in the hills and mountains and valley regions here in Pennsylvania, and I typically don't have great cell service, but with the provided SIM Hero SIM card, I had no trouble. I had good reception where I placed this. It was actually better cell service than what most trail cameras that I run have. Another thing that I think is a positive is several different mounting options. It has a 1/4-20 mount on the back and the bottom of the trail camera. It has a place for a tree strap, and it's security cable enabled. In other words, it has a spot here that you can put a security camera. With having a cell cam, you definitely have more invested, and you definitely don't want to lose it to theft. So having those security options is a nice plus. Another positive with this trail camera is the solar panel. Now that is sold separately, but I paired this trail camera with their solar panel. I had zero power issues. I had this camera going photo and video mode both day and night for well over a month straight. That solar panel kept things charged up. I never had to put new batteries in this trail camera. We had quite a few cloudy days here in the spring here in Pennsylvania, and that solar panel did well, so I was pleased with that combination. Now on to some cons. I would say just the physical size of this I would put as a con. It's not a deal breaker, but this camera is a good bit larger than most cell cameras that I'm used to or that I'm currently running. As you can see here, compared to my palm of my hand, it is a rather large unit. I'd imagine in years to come, Creative XP will be continuing to make this camera more compact. But as of now, if you're looking to hide this trail camera, as you can see with the antennas and just the physical size, it's definitely a larger camera than what most are. The only other con that I came up with is actually its price point. That might not be a con to everybody, but as a hunting farmer on a budget, this is definitely on the higher end of cell cams, or at least you can find cell cams for almost half the price of this. Now with that, I had reached out to Creative XP and talked about some of my concerns. They did reply back to me that their price point is a little bit higher, but that is because of the reliability of the software. A lot of cell cameras are using Chinese software, whereas this is German software that they explained. It is a lot more reliable, and I did not have any issues, so maybe they are onto something. So if the price point does scare you away a little bit, you can rest assured that the quality is behind this camera. All you have to do is take a look at the reviews on Amazon. Like I had mentioned, is probably one of the highest reviews and the most positive reviews on any cell camera that's on Amazon. After using it, I can see why. So there were my final thoughts. Lots of positives. I pointed out what negatives I feel. You might feel differently, or you might have a different experience. I'd love to hear from you. If you have any comments or questions, you can put them down in the comments section. I'm going to be leaving a link to this trail camera down in the description. If you want more information, or maybe you're interested in purchasing one, I would appreciate if you could follow that link down there. So with that, I want to thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.